In life, people come and go. Some stay for a season, some stay for years, and some stay only until their part in your story is complete. And when they leave, it hurts. It feels like a piece of your heart has been taken away. You wonder why they left, why they changed, or why they couldn't stay by your side. But here's a truth you need to hold on to. While you may lose people, you are never truly left alone. The one who created you never walks away. When everyone else drifts apart, his presence remains constant. When the world feels empty, his closeness fills the void. Think about it. Friends may betray you, family may misunderstand you, and loved ones may distance themselves. But in those very moments, you still have someone who listens when you whisper in the night. Someone who knows the pain you don't even have words to explain. Someone who doesn't leave when things get hard. Sometimes, people leave because they were not meant to walk with you to the next stage of your journey. Sometimes, their absence is a hidden blessing, saving you from harm you couldn't see. And sometimes, their departure is simply a reminder for your heart to attach itself to the one who never leaves. Every tear you shed, every silent prayer you whisper, every lonely moment you endure, it is all seen. You may feel abandoned by people, but you are never abandoned by the one who is closer to you than your own soul. When you lose people, you don't lose your worth. You don't lose your strength, and you don't lose the love and mercy that is always available to you. The world may change, people may change, but he remains the same, steadfast, merciful, and always near. So, when you feel the sting of loss, don't let it convince you that you are empty, because you are not. You are held, you are seen, and you are carried by a strength far greater than any human hand could offer. You lose people, yes, but you never lose the one who truly matters. Life is a journey filled with countless faces, voices, and souls that cross our path. From the moment we are born until the day we take our last breath, people enter and exit our lives. Some arrive like a burst of sunlight, bringing joy, comfort, and companionship. Others may leave behind lessons wrapped in pain. The reality is this: people come and people go, and learning to accept this truth is one of the most important steps toward inner peace. When you look back at your life, you'll realize how many individuals once felt permanent but are no longer around. Childhood friends you couldn't imagine living without, teachers who once guided you every day, neighbors who were part of your daily routine. All of them played a role in your story for a time and then moved on. This constant cycle of arrival and departure is not a flaw in life, it is a design. It teaches us that no relationship in this world is forever guaranteed. Sometimes people leave without warning and it hurts. It feels like an empty chair at a table where you once shared laughter. It feels like silence in a place that used to echo with conversation. The absence cuts deep because the heart becomes attached, and attachment makes letting go so difficult. But the truth is, just as seasons change, people's roles in your life change too. Not every person is meant to stay for the entire journey. There are also times when people leave because they have fulfilled their purpose in your life. Perhaps they came to teach you a lesson, to help you grow, or to guide you through a difficult moment. And when that purpose is complete, their presence naturally fades. It's not always betrayal, it's not always abandonment. Sometimes it is simply the rhythm of life. If you reflect carefully, you'll see how even painful departures carried hidden wisdom. The heartbreak that once shattered you may have taught you strength. The friend who drifted away may have pushed you closer to reliance on your Creator. At other times, people leave because they themselves are on a journey. Just as you are walking your path, they are walking theirs. Your paths intersected for a while, but they were never meant to run side by side forever. Each soul has its own mission, its own timeline, its own story written by the one above. To expect every relationship to last forever is to ignore this truth. People are not ours to own. They are entrusted to us for as long as the story allows. It is also important to understand that losing people does not mean losing love. Love can remain even after someone has left. The care, the memories, and the lessons they leave behind can continue to inspire you long after they are gone. That's why some of the most profound influences in our lives come from people we no longer see. Their presence fades, but the impact stays carved in our hearts. One of the hardest lessons to accept is that people may leave even when you have done nothing wrong. You may give loyalty, kindness, and sincerity, yet still face abandonment. This can make you question your worth, but remember, Someone's decision to walk away is not always a reflection of your value. Sometimes it is a reflection of their journey, their struggles, or their inability to appreciate what you gave. You are not less because someone left. There is also wisdom in separation. Imagine if everyone who ever entered your life stayed. The weight of so many voices, so many influences would overwhelm you. Sometimes space must be created for new people to arrive. Sometimes old chapters must close before new ones can begin. Just like a tree must shed its leaves to prepare for fresh growth, we too must experience loss to make way for renewal. Even though people come and go, you are never truly left empty-handed. With every arrival, you gain experience. With every departure, you gain resilience. Every person leaves a mark on you. Some leave scars, some leave warmth, and some leave both. But each mark contributes to the person you are becoming. And through it all, one truth remains steady. While people may change, drift, or disappear, the one who created you remains constant. His presence does not flicker like human emotions. His closeness does not fade with time. And his care does not end when people walk away. That is why, even though people come and go, you are never truly abandoned. Loneliness is one of the heaviest feelings a human heart can carry. It creeps in when you least expect it, on sleepless nights, in crowded rooms, or in the quiet of your own thoughts. You may be surrounded by people, yet still feel unseen, unheard, and misunderstood. There are moments when you wish someone would notice your pain, someone would listen to the words you cannot speak, or someone would simply sit beside you so you don't feel the weight of silence. And when that doesn't happen, you begin to wonder if you are truly all alone in this world. But here's a truth you need to remember. You are never truly alone. Even in your loneliest moments, when the world seems to have turned its back on you, there is a presence that never leaves. The one who created you is closer to you than anyone else could ever be. Closer than family, closer than friends, closer than the very heartbeat in your chest. While people may walk away, while relationships may fade, the connection you have with your Creator is unbreakable. Think of those nights when you cried silently with no one around to comfort you. Not a single tear fell unnoticed. Every drop was seen. Every trembling breath was heard. Every unspoken word locked inside your heart was fully understood. You may have felt invisible to the world, but you were never invisible to the one who holds your soul. At times you might feel abandoned by people you trusted. The phone stops ringing, the messages stop coming, and the doors you once relied on suddenly close. That feeling of being left behind can crush your spirit. But even in that moment, you are not abandoned. The one who never leaves is still with you, listening, guiding, and holding your heart steady when everything else feels shaky. When you walk through difficulties that no one else can see, it's easy to believe that your struggles don't matter. But every hardship you endure, every battle you fight silently, is witnessed. You are not struggling in vain. You are not suffering in emptiness. The divine presence surrounds you in ways you may not always notice, but can always trust. Think about the countless times you thought you wouldn't make it through, yet you did. Who gave you the strength to carry on? Who lifted you when you had no energy left? Who gave you hope when everything around you seemed hopeless? That unseen support is proof that you are never left alone. You are never truly alone in your happiness either. When your heart overflows with gratitude, when you feel joy, when you achieve something beautiful, those moments are also shared. The same presence that comforts you in sadness celebrates with you in joy. Nothing in your life goes unnoticed, neither your pain nor your gratitude. Sometimes solitude is given to you as a gift, not as a punishment. When people are distant, you are invited to turn inward, to discover the strength you didn't know you had, and to deepen your connection with the one who never distances himself from you. Silence becomes sacred when you realize it is filled with his nearness. Loneliness becomes less heavy when you understand it is an opportunity to pour your heart out in the most honest way. You are never truly alone because every thought you have, every emotion you feel, every secret you hide, there is one who already knows. Even before you speak, even before you whisper, your heart is understood. That kind of closeness is something no human being can provide, and yet it is always available to you. So, even when the world turns its back, even when friends disappear, even when the weight of loneliness seems unbearable, remind yourself that you are never truly on your own. There is always a presence surrounding you, watching over you, and carrying you through every step of your journey. Loss is a universal experience, something every human being encounters at one point or another. It can come in the form of losing people you love, losing opportunities you dreamed of, or losing parts of your life you thought were permanent. When loss arrives, it often feels unbearable. The heart aches, the mind questions, and the soul feels a heavy emptiness. It's natural to see loss only as pain, but often, beneath the sorrow, there lies a hidden blessing. When you lose someone you deeply care about, the first wave that hits you is grief. Their absence feels like a silence that echoes in every corner of your life. You remember the conversations, the shared moments, and the comfort of their presence. It feels like nothing can replace that gap. But sometimes what feels like an end is actually a turning point. Their absence teaches you resilience, helps you to value the moments you still have with others, and draws you closer to the one who never leaves. The pain itself becomes a teacher, molding your heart into something stronger and softer at the same time. Loss is also a way of redirecting your path. There are times when we hold on to people, places, or opportunities because we think they are essential for our happiness. We cling so tightly that we cannot imagine life without them. But when they are taken away, we are forced to step into a new chapter. At first, it feels like being pushed into darkness, but in reality, it is an invitation toward light we would never have found otherwise. The loss becomes a blessing in disguise, guiding us to growth, new opportunities, and deeper faith. Think of the times when you lost an opportunity you desperately wanted. Perhaps it was a job you didn't get, an exam you didn't pass, or a dream that didn't materialize. At that moment, the disappointment felt heavy, as though the door closing was the end of everything. But later, you may have realized that the door closed only because another, far better door was meant to open. The rejection became protection, the failure became preparation, and what you thought was loss was actually a blessing, saving you from harm or leading you to something greater than you ever planned. Sometimes, loss strips away illusions. We often believe certain people will always stand by us, that they will be constant, loyal, and supportive, but when they leave or disappoint us, the truth is revealed that reliance on people is fragile, and reliance on the divine is where true stability lies. That realization, born from pain, is one of the greatest blessings of loss. It teaches the heart where to anchor itself. It reminds you that while people come and go, the one who created you is permanent. Loss also deepens empathy. When you experience pain yourself, you gain a new understanding of what others go through. The grief, the heartbreak, the emptiness. It makes you softer toward those who carry similar wounds. You learn to offer comfort, to listen without judgment, and to extend kindness because you know how much it matters. In this way, loss doesn't just transform you, it ripples outward, blessing others through the compassion it plants in your heart. In hidden ways, loss also purifies. It removes attachments that may have distracted you from what truly matters. It shakes you from comfort zones and awakens your soul to realities beyond this temporary world. It reminds you that everything here is fleeting, that nothing is truly ours, and that ultimate peace cannot be built on things destined to fade. Though this realization is painful, it is a blessing that pulls you closer to eternal truths. Every tear shed in loss, every night spent in grief, every moment of silence carries weight. They are not wasted. They become seeds of strength, resilience, and spiritual closeness. The wound itself becomes a doorway, opening you to blessings you could not have seen if you had never lost. Pain is something we all carry in different shapes and forms. For some, it is the ache of losing someone they loved deeply. For others, it is the quiet weight of dreams that never came true. Sometimes pain shows itself in the loneliness of nights when no one is around to listen, and sometimes it hides behind forced smiles in the middle of the day. Whatever form it takes, pain can feel invisible. You may feel that no one understands it, no one notices it, and no one cares enough to acknowledge it. But the truth is every pain is seen. Think about those silent tears you have shed when nobody was watching. To the world, they may have disappeared without a trace, but in reality, not a single one was wasted. Every tear is noticed, every sigh is recorded, and every moment of weakness carries meaning. When your heart breaks in silence, it is not ignored. There is a higher wisdom that sees the weight you carry, even when people around you cannot. It's easy to believe that pain goes unnoticed because human beings are limited in their understanding. Sometimes even the people closest to you fail to realize the depth of your struggle. They see the surface, but they don't see the storm inside. They see the smile you wear, but they don't see the trembling of your soul. Yet just because people cannot see doesn't mean your pain is invisible. Every wound you carry, every sacrifice you make, every hidden battle you fight is witnessed. There are times when you feel abandoned in your suffering. You look around for comfort, but no one seems to hear the cries of your heart. That loneliness can make your burden feel heavier, but even in those moments, you are not alone. Your Creator sees what others cannot. He knows the tears you hold back, the words you cannot speak, and the prayers you whisper in the stillness of the night. Nothing escapes His knowledge. Every pain you endure is also measured. It's not random, and it's not meaningless. It shapes you in ways you might not understand right now. It softens your heart, teaches you patience, and pulls you closer to the one who understands you completely. Pain becomes a teacher when you realize that it is seen and valued, not ignored. Think of the times you have struggled in silence, sacrifices you made for your family, hardships you faced without complaint, moments you chose kindness even when your own heart was breaking. Perhaps nobody around you acknowledged it. Perhaps no one clapped for you or even said thank you. But in truth, every effort was noticed. Every act of quiet strength was recorded. What people overlook is never overlooked by the one who created you. Sometimes, pain is the doorway to blessings. The very tears you shed can water the seeds of mercy and strength in your life. The very wounds you carry can become the reason for growth and transformation. And the very struggles you hide can lead to rewards beyond what you can imagine. The fact that your pain is seen means it is not wasted. It means it has purpose, even when you don't fully understand it. Even when life feels unfair, when injustice stabs at your heart, when you wonder why you must go through trials that others seem free from, remember that nothing is missed. The patience you show in silence, the prayers you whisper through tears, the resilience you demonstrate in hardship, all of it is seen, all of it is counted. This understanding changes the way you carry pain. Instead of believing you are invisible, you start to realize you are held. Instead of thinking your struggles are pointless, you begin to trust that they carry meaning far greater than what you can comprehend right now. The pain itself becomes lighter when you know it is witnessed, cherished, and transformed into blessings. So, even if the world doesn't notice your broken heart, even if people don't acknowledge your effort, even if your tears fall in darkness, know that they are never forgotten. Every pain is seen, every struggle is valued, and every sacrifice carries weight beyond what the human eye can measure. There are moments in life when you begin to question your value. Maybe it happens after rejection, when someone you cared for walks away, or when an opportunity you prayed for slips out of your hands. Maybe it happens when people around you overlook your efforts, dismiss your voice, or fail to appreciate what you bring into their lives. In those moments, the thought creeps in, maybe I am not enough, but here's the truth you need to hold on to. Your worth doesn't decrease just because others fail to see it. Your value is not determined by how people treat you. Some may underestimate you, some may reject you, and some may even try to make you feel small, but their opinions do not define you. Your worth is built into you by the one who created you, and no amount of neglect, rejection, or criticism can take that away. Just as a diamond doesn't lose its value when it's covered in dust, your soul doesn't lose its worth when people fail to recognize it. Think of the times when your efforts went unnoticed. You gave your best, you worked hard, you poured your heart into something, but no one seemed to care. It hurts to be overlooked, but being overlooked by people does not mean you are overlooked in reality. Every action, every intention, every sacrifice is seen. Your worth doesn't decrease just because people remain silent in response to your effort. There are also times when loss makes you doubt yourself. Losing a relationship may make you wonder if you weren't good enough. Failing at something may make you believe you're incapable, but loss does not equal worthlessness. Often it is simply redirection, a way of preparing you for something greater. If a door closes, it is not because you are unworthy of opportunities, but because there is a different path meant for you. Your value remains untouched. Your worth is also not tied to how perfect you are. Society convinces us that mistakes make us less valuable, that imperfections erase our beauty. But the reality is, flaws are part of being human. Struggles and mistakes are part of growth. Falling doesn't erase your worth. It teaches you, molds you, and makes you stronger. The worth of a person lies in their effort to rise again, not in the fact that they never fell. Too often, we hand people the power to decide our value. A hurtful comment, a rejection, or a comparison can suddenly make us feel small, but it's important to remember that people see only fragments of who we are. They don't see the depth of our heart, the sincerity of our intentions, or the battles we quietly fight. Their shallow view cannot reduce the richness of your soul. Think of how the world values material things. A crumpled banknote still holds the same value as a crisp one. A scratched piece of gold is still gold. In the same way, your worth remains intact, even if life has crumpled you with hardships or left scars on your soul. You are still valuable, still precious, still worthy. No matter how broken you may feel, even when you doubt yourself, your value doesn't disappear. Self-doubt can blind you to your own strength, but it cannot erase it. Just because you cannot see your light at the moment doesn't mean it isn't shining. Sometimes it takes time and healing for you to recognize your own worth again. But whether or not you see it right now, it is still there, constant and unchanging. When people don't appreciate you, it can sting, but that is their limitation, not yours. Your worth was never meant to be measured by applause, recognition, or validation from others. True worth is measured by the sincerity of your heart, the purity of your intentions, and the resilience of your spirit. These qualities cannot be taken from you, no matter how people treat you. So when rejection whispers that you are not enough, remember that rejection is only redirection. When silence makes you feel invisible, remember that every effort is still seen. When loss makes you question your value, remember that worth is not tied to what you have or what you lose. And when doubt makes you feel small, remember that your soul carries a light that no one can diminish. Your worth doesn't decrease ever, it remains whole, intact, and precious, no matter what life or people may try to make you believe. There are times in life when people walk away, friends you thought would stay forever slowly drift apart. Loved ones you trusted with your heart sometimes turn their backs. Even family members who once felt like your safe place can become distant. It hurts deeply to watch people leave, to feel their absence, and to carry the silence they leave behind. But in those moments of loss, one truth becomes clear: faithful presence never fades. Human relationships are fragile. People are often kind, supportive, and loving, but they are also limited. They can only be there for you to the extent of their strength, time, and emotions. When their own struggles consume them, they may not have space to carry yours. When their priorities change, their paths may no longer align with yours. And so, people come and go. But the presence that is truly faithful, the one that does not fade, does not abandon, does not weaken, remains with you always. Think of the countless moments when you felt alone. You may have cried silently in the middle of the night, unable to share your pain with anyone. Or perhaps you walked through crowds of people yet still felt invisible. Loneliness is one of the heaviest feelings a person can bear. But even in that loneliness, you were never truly alone. There was always a presence closer to you than your very heartbeat, watching, listening, and holding you together. The faithful presence that never fades is the one that has been with you since the day you were born. Before you could even speak or cry, you were already seen and cared for. Every breath you take, every heartbeat that keeps you alive, is proof that this presence surrounds you. Unlike people who can forget or grow distant, this presence never withdraws. It is constant, unchanging, and everlasting. Sometimes when you go through hardship, it's easy to feel abandoned. You may ask yourself why you are left to suffer, why no one notices your pain, why help doesn't arrive quickly. But often those very trials are meant to remind you of who truly stays. People can only hold your hand for so long. They can only comfort you to a certain point, but the faithful presence of your Creator never leaves. He is with you in your weakest moments, guiding you even when you don't realize it, carrying you when your strength runs out. This presence is not only with you in times of hardship, it is with you in moments of joy as well. Every smile, every blessing, every moment of peace is a gift wrapped in this faithfulness. Sometimes we get so caught up in gratitude to people that we forget the ultimate source behind it all. But when you pause to reflect, you realize that every good thing in your life is a sign of a presence that never fades away. Unlike human relationships, where love can waver and loyalty can break, this bond is eternal. It is not based on your perfection or your success. Even when you stumble, even when you make mistakes, even when you feel unworthy, this faithful presence does not abandon you. People may judge you, label you, or walk away, but the one who truly knows you never turns his back. His love is constant, and his closeness does not fade with time. When you recognize this, life begins to feel lighter, the fear of abandonment lessens, the sting of rejection becomes softer. The emptiness of loneliness is filled with quiet assurance. Because you know, even if everyone else leaves, you are still held, you are still seen, you are still valued beyond measure. That kind of presence is what gives you the courage to keep moving forward, no matter what you lose along the way. So, the next time you feel alone, remember this truth: faithful presence never fades. People may come and go, seasons of life may change, and circumstances may shift, but you are never abandoned. The one who created you, who sustains you, who loves you endlessly, remains by your side through every joy, every tear, every step of your journey.